What's up, tribe? In today's video, we're going to talk about giving a little extra. This is something I've been trying to implement in almost every area of my life for the past few months. If you remember on this channel, one of the first videos I posted this year was making this year my most productive one yet. And so I've been trying to make these incremental 1% differences and 1% improvements in as many areas of my life as I possibly can. And it's truly helping me to just grow all around as a better person, rather than just prioritizing one area, harping on it really, intensely, like golf a little more than I maybe should at certain times, or the gym, and overdoing it and getting injured and whatnot. But doing that 1%, giving that little bit extra in every area and becoming all around better. So I have a few different areas where this, 1% difference has increased my productivity the most, and the first one is work. I make this number one because I literally went into the doctor's office today to go pick up some extra work there with them, moving a bunch of furniture for a big move that's going on, and taking that extra little initiative is not something I had to do, but something that I got the opportunity to, and I took it. And I try to take as many of these opportunities to go do extra work, or to get that extra 30 minutes at the airport in between making some flights, or, should I lay down right now and go ahead and call it a night, or I could lay down and bust out my laptop and maybe get a little bit more work done for 20, 30 minutes, wind down and then go to bed. And just doing those little bit extras here and there truly just makes such a big difference, and it's just gotten so much more work done for me. So that's number one. Highly recommend it. Do some more work, as we talk about a lot on this channel. Number two is the gym. By doing those last few reps, by going the extra day, by staying on the treadmill for those 5 more minutes. One of my favorite ones actually for this is the plank. I love doing planks, and I actually hate doing them, which seems counterintuitive, but it's the love-hate relationship that, really does push me to want to keep on doing it. It's hating every second, but every time that I push further and further and further and further, and every time I feel, I have my music going, I feel like I can't go anymore, rip the AirPods out, throw them on the ground, and just fight and just push. 1 more second, we got 1 more second, we could do 10 more, count to 10. We could do 15 more, count to 15, and pushing that ever so more further and further and further just builds so much feeling of accomplishment, which is something we'll touch more on in a couple minutes. And it's also made outsized returns in my gains. I've gotten bigger, I've gotten more shredded when I go on that extra run. I've gotten better at climbing whenever I would really take the time to try to practice one move, or, do separate hand and arm and forearm workouts. Doing that little percentage, that little bit extra, genuinely did make me improve so much faster in climbing than everyone else that I kind of knew, as well as, giving me outsized returns to my gains on the amount of, time in which I'm working out. Because I say I work out 3-4 times a week, but that little bit extra, I'm pushing really hard on those 4 rather than 5 or 6, okay workouts a week. So the gym helps a lot. Third is money. I've made a lot of extra money throughout my entire life, honestly, by doing this, by pushing that little extra. What else could I do? How else could I help? Well, you need help with this later. And I've said it before, being very entrepreneurial mindset-y as even just a kid. My first ever business I started was selling seashells on the side of the road from a TV dinner pop-out tray that me and my friend colored in crayons. But ever since I was a kid, I wanted to do that little extra, to just make that extra buck. And it's made a huge difference in the amount of money I've had, 1, in my savings, and 2, to spend. Rather than worrying about how I'm going to, cover whatever trip I'm trying to go on, what I usually try to do is pick up extra work in that time to fund the things that I'm doing. And then I can do that same thing to build my accounts. I can do the same thing for big changes in life, like moves and things like that. But being able and willing, the main thing is willing to go out and push that little bit extra to make that little bit extra, has made insane differences in my life, from never really having to say no to anything I've really wanted to do. Because if I couldn't make it, if I couldn't go or I couldn't pay for it, I would go make a way or find a way to make it happen. So money, great. Push that little bit of extra, makes a humongous difference. And what all this is ultimately, I think, leading back to, and what I think my favorite aspect of the difference in pushing that little bit extra or not, is the sense of satisfaction, as we touched on briefly earlier. I feel so much accomplishment whenever I do push that little bit extra. I can go to bed happy every single day, feeling like, I love the phrase, I left it all out on the field. And that's something I really try to remind myself of often. I mean, I say it a lot to myself during my workouts and everything. Leave it all on the field. It's a simple old saying, but it's so true. And you feel so much better whenever you actually go out and push and leave it out there. Whenever you feel like, man, I could have done more today, and tomorrow I'm gonna need to pick up on some slack from work, tired. But then the next day you're tired and you feel kind of guilty about not, doing your work, and then it kind of stacks. And then you're feeling sick the third day after, and now it's 2 days of not doing. You see what I'm saying? If you had pushed that extra 1%, 3%, 5%, 10% that one day, it would have set yourself up differently, and that, I guess, atomic structure will continue, and you just continue putting tokens into the good side. Put in the additional work, get a little bit further, and the dominoes down the line, I'm living the proof right now, truly do line up and play out far better. And then the other one is confidence. And I've touched on confidence here. I actually made a whole video about it. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it here or here, whatever. Go check it out. But it builds my confidence by doing what I say I'm gonna do. And not only do I do what I say I'm gonna do a little bit extra. And as we talked about in that video, you build a list of proof, a list of evidence as to you are who you say you are. And the more you accomplish, the longer that list gets, and the more confident you can be in yourself for the things that you are doing or have never done. Like, I have confidence to do things that I've never done before, but it's because I have a list of a plethora of things that I have done. And I can find, oh, well, this is like similar to that. This is similar to this. I know that no matter what, at the end of the day, I have the energy, the effort, and the will. I will push. I will do it. I will do the work to succeed. So that's where the confidence comes from, is having that list of proof, and then all because I've done so much work and pushed myself that little bit extra. And now I believe that I could do anything, take over the world, as simply and humbly as I possibly can say that. But all in all, I can say that by giving 1% extra effort, creating the outsized returns for the months, years now of trying to do it here and there, but months of actually dedicated effort into putting in that 1%. I think about it often, all the time. What extra can I give? I'm living the proof, and eating the fruits of my labor while they're still ripe, as Lil Wayne would say. I am. I'm living with the proof of putting in the effort, and it feels amazing. And I want you guys to feel the same way. So if you could push that little bit extra, give it that extra 1% today. It takes an extra minute, an extra 5 minutes, extra 10 minutes, maybe an extra hour, whatever it is, give that little bit extra, and I promise you, down the line, it'll be worth it. The dominoes will fall where they're supposed to be, and you'll get more and more momentum the more and more you give. But that's it for today's video, guys. I thank each and every one of you for making it to this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button, share it with someone if you think that they could also benefit from the message, and I will see you guys next week on Thursday with more content. That's it. Thank you guys for coming. Seriously, I love each and every single one of you. I'll see you in the next video, and peace.